The biggest names in sports are all on IsraelSportsRadio.com.
From the ACI studios in downtown Talpiot, Jerusalem, it's Lewis Lane! Now here your hosts, me and Yossi G.
Welcome, welcome. It's going to be a fun evening tonight.
Happy Hanukkah to all. It's a great time here in the city of Jerusalem, our nation's capital. Very holy time. We have holidays galore going on in the holy city. It's a great time to do the show as well. We're here from 10 to midnight in Israel. We'll be taking your phone calls later on in the program. But first off, we have a very, very special guest. It's an honor and privilege to have this gentleman on. Yossi, please take it away.
From the Dallas Stars, we have the honor and privilege of bringing to you the left winger for the Lone Star State Stars, Eric Nystrom. Eric, how are you out there?
Doing very well. How about yourself?
Doing very well, thank God. Firstly, I got to ask you, it's a little bit of a change of scenery for you in Dallas, coming from Minnesota and things as such. What do you find the most beneficial for you to have this change of scenery that you have there?
I think a fresh start in a lot of cases is good as an athlete, and especially when things weren't going as well as you planned, and you get an opportunity to go to a new team and play for a new coach and different players. It's just it's good for the mind, and it's good just to have a clean slate to start over, and I think that's just been the biggest difference.
All right, now, many people will hear your name, and they automatically attribute the last name to your father, NHL Hall of Famer Bob Nystrom, and I got to ask you, what is it like? What does it mean being the son of an NHL legend? Was there some sort of stigma, perhaps, that was attached to you when you came into the league as a rookie?
I don't think so. You know what? Maybe I think it's an honor to carry on the legacy that my dad, paved the way. But at this level, people, you have to be a good enough player, or else you're not going to make it. And once you get to this point, it doesn't matter if your last name's Smith or Nystrom. You have to be a good enough player to stick. And I never really was given a hard time, but it's just an honor to be following in the footsteps of my dad.
Now, what were some of the problems that you faced earlier on in your career trying to adjust to the up-tempo, quicker style of the NHL?
Well, just like anybody else, it just takes a little bit of time to adjust to the speed of the game. And, definitely guys are faster, and they're definitely bigger and more experienced once you get to this level. But, I think once I got into the league and, established a type of game I needed to play to be successful, that, I acclimated a lot quicker. And I think I'm definitely on the upswing, and I'm really happy to be in Dallas, and things are going well. And I think I'm just right now hitting my stride in this league.
Could you describe to the fans here some of the experiences that you had during the tough times that you went through playing professional hockey?
Oh, there's so many things that happen, and that's the whole, that's how guys make it to this level, is through perseverance and being mentally tough through the ups and downs. Your first couple years, you're getting called up and down from the minor leagues, and it's hard when you're so excited when you get called up for that first few times, and then it's so demoralizing when you get sent down, and you have to just stay positive all the time and realize that there's a bigger goal. And there's a process that's also, the management, they have a plan for every player, and there's a process you have to follow, and you just have to have faith in that process and believe that you belong in that league. And the sooner you believe in yourself and the more positive you stay, the better things happen.
What was some of the best advice that you received to keep you positive, to help you overcome the adversity?
Well, there's just so many people that I've come across in my life that have always just supported me through the ups and downs, and they're always saying, just keep working hard, and good things happen. The harder you work, the more luck you'll have, and you got to just realize that there's a bigger picture, and things will work out if you just keep your mindset positive and work as hard as you possibly can. And it really is so true. If you're positive and you believe in yourself, you can accomplish anything.
Is that something that your coach Glenn Gullison has really tried to instill into the players? He himself being a rookie NHL coach, and with all the early predictions that didn't really favor Dallas in the off season as to where Dallas would end up finishing, and the record that you have currently, has that kind of all fit in together?
Yeah, I think so. He's a guy who's also, coached in the minor leagues for a long time, and, he's worked so hard to get to this level and has had such a positive mindset, and he definitely instills that in the team. He never is too hard on us. He doesn't get down on us when things aren't going well. It's all about moving forward and staying positive and learning, and I think that's been huge for our team. And you know what? And people can speculate all they want about how a team's going to be or before the season even starts, but they don't know what the chemistry is in the locker room. They just see names on a piece of paper and think they can make predictions, but that has nothing to do with it. There's so much more that goes into a team than just, names on a piece of paper.
And what's that chemistry been like in the locker room? It seems, has everybody kind of found their own niche, or are you still filling each other out?
I think that as a team, when we're playing well and being successful, it's because there's a certain way we're playing, and every guy is buying into that. Not one guy's not off on his own page, or two guys aren't off on their own page. Everybody's doing the same thing, and that's what the good teams do consistently. Every guy does the same thing over and over and over again, and that is what makes a team hard to play against, when every single guy is buying into the team game and what it takes to be successful. And when we're doing that, we're a great team, but when we're not so great. But I think for the most part this year, we've really been focused.
Eric R. Lewis, again, thank you so much for being on Israel Sports Radio. It truly is a pleasure.
Sure.
And one of the questions I want to ask you, it's kind of a corny question, but hey, it's my job, so I need to ask you this. You're a Jewish player in the National Hockey League. That's a bit of a rarity. I want you to talk about what that's like. Are people respectful of you? Do you find any difficulty, any hurdles being Jewish, or people are pretty accepting of who you are?
They're very accepting, and you know what? The most unique part about being a Jewish athlete in the NHL is I'm the first Jewish person that some of these guys have ever met. The places they
Right.
come from, there's zero Jewish population, and they tell me that I'm the first Jewish person that they met, and I said, see, I'm just like you guys. It's pretty neat, but everybody's very accepting, and I got a great group of teammates, and they're all wishing me happy holidays and happy Hanukkah, and I couldn't ask for better guys.
And, what's interesting about that, like you mentioned, it's such a great point. I'm smiling from ear to ear because I grew up kind of in a smaller town, and I've gone to places where they say, you're the first Jewish person I met. And I go, oh, well, happy to help. See? There you go. So it's a cool experience. And also, of course, the NHL is off on both Christmas Eve and Christmas. So, and you're not celebrating Christmas. Of course, this year, Hanukkah's this time, but do you do something different? Like, hey, guys, have fun doing your thing. I'll take the 2 days and do something else?
Well, in my family, we always had a big Christmas party because, we had a big Jewish community and there was nothing else to do on Christmas, so we decided to have a big Christmas party at our house. So we've always had, a nice celebration of Christmas with all Jewish people on Long Island. So we're kind of keeping that going here also in Dallas. But,
Eric, the saying is Christmas is National Jews Eat Chinese Food and Go to the Movies Day, right?
Exactly, yeah. Well, we just decided to have them all come over to my house in New York growing up, so it's pretty fun.
Now, sorry, 1 second. One of the things I wanted to ask you also was, tell us one of the craziest things that you've had to go through as the term, I don't know if they do it so much now, but basically when a rookie comes in, they kind of tease them. They have them do hazing. Yes. Tell us if you got hazed and you want to talk about it. And, but please remember it's a family show, Eric. So whatever. But what's the craziest thing that ever happened to you hazing wise?
There's not much hazing at this level, in the National Hockey League. Obviously they give rookies a hard time, and you got to wait for all the veterans to get off the bus before you get off, and you're the last to get your meal, like when you have a team meal, or you have to let them go on the elevator first, and you get to the hotel, and then the tradition is a big dinner, a very expensive dinner that the rookies have to pay for, and that's kind of the ritual. You know, the guys get the nicest bottles of wine, and you know, it gets a little excessive at times, and it's the rookies' job to pick up the tab, and that's the ritual around the league.
Like in the movie The Mighty Ducks, is it like that?
Exactly like that, except you know you're paying. They don't just leave you with the bill. You know you're paying, and you don't end up washing dishes. You actually have to put your credit card down, and it hurts.
Oh, for sure.
We got to ask you before we let you go, because we know that you're a busy guy and you got a lot of things on your schedule. What would be a piece of advice that you would have as somebody who, coming from a little bit of a different background than perhaps a standard NHL player, somebody trying to make their mark in the minors or even in college, trying to get to that next level, what would you have as a piece of advice for them to never lose sight of the end goal?
Well, the first thing is obviously the game is so mental. It's 90% of it's mental. What you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. If you have the mindset that you're going to be the most determined player, you're going to score goals, you're going to be a fast skater, you're going to be stronger than everybody else out there. If you truly believe that, that's what's going to happen. And visualizing success and seeing yourself in successful situations and envision yourself doing well, that's what's going to happen. And I'm such a believer that positivity and visualization and self-belief is so key in getting to where you want to be. You have to think like a champion to be one.
Now, you mentioned about the mental makeup, and I got to ask you that you jarred my memory a little bit. What is it like? What do you feel as a player with regards to this whole concussion, if you want to call it an epidemic, but we're seeing a lot of hits to the head, and there's talk and discussion about perhaps banning all across the board fighting, and then perhaps a little bit, not so much, a little bit finding some sort of equilibrium over there. What is your take on the whole concussion epidemic? What do you see for that you would hope that the NHL would do, and if you have any advice for the hierarchy?
Well, you know what? It's just things happen so fast on the ice that, and guys are so strong and they're moving at such a high rate of speed that sometimes, you know, hits are going to result in concussions. And obviously, you know, there's some dirty hits that happen where guys are finishing hits high towards the head region, and the league is doing a really good job of cracking down on that. But I really don't think that fighting has so much of an impact on concussions. You know, you see guys getting knocked out with big hits way more than you are in a fight, and you know that's my stand on that point. But also, you know, guys, they just have to respect the opponent. If you're playing reckless and running around and you know, hitting guys high, that's you know, you don't want to see that. You have to respect the guys you're playing against, and obviously be smart when you're on the ice.
Now, I gotta ask you now, before we really let you go, what is it in the NHL? We find players go through different lessons that they learn over the course of different games, and as such, you happen to have found yourself, I'm sure, at some point in your career at the right place at the right time. Can you describe for us the feeling of either scoring a game winner, having a hand in blocking potentially a game-winning goal, and thereby your team ends up becoming victorious? Can you describe what the feeling is like in having a hand directly in winning a game?
There's words that you can't even describe it. You know, when you score a game winner or something like that, it's even just a goal, just to score a goal in the National Hockey League. It is just such a feeling and such a rush that you can't even describe what it feels like. And even when you score one in the playoffs and the arena is going crazy, it's something that you worked your whole life for. And I sacrificed so much growing up just to get the opportunity to score one of those big goals. And you got your 20 teammates in the room that have been through so much together, and just to be the guy to come through, it's for those 19 or 20 guys that you've been playing with all year. It's for those guys, you know, it's that camaraderie in the team. It's something special.
Well, Eric, we got to let you go. Really, really a lot of fun. Thanks so much for calling on. And I'll tell you, the next time your teammates or your hockey comrades or anyone says, hey, you're the first Jew I met, you could say, well, not only am I Jewish, but I was on Israel Sports Radio. Yes, Israel has a sports radio station. And then so you now give them more information.
I'll let them know. I'll definitely let them know.
Absolutely. A lot of fun. All the best. Great luck the rest of the way. I hope after the Dallas Stars win the Stanley Cup championship, we come back on the show as a champion and talk all about it.
That's a deal.
All right. We got that recorded, Eric.
We're going to hold you to that.
We will hold you to it.
That's a deal.
All right. Amen, brother. All right. Happy Hanukkah to you and your family, and we'll look forward to speaking to you in June.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely,
Our
Eric.
pleasure. Take care.
Be well.
Bye.